Hi guys, if you haven't already checked out my March giveaway video, check that out. Enter into the prize draw. There's quite a lot of good prizes being given away, some plasmic auras and some style pieces and money and such. There'll be a link to that in the description below, so go check that out if you haven't checked it out. Today I'm going to be talking about what looks like DC Universe coming to Xbox One. There's been apparently some tweets on Twitter from Spittle, one of the devs, who has been sort of hinting at DC coming to Xbox One. Today I've been looking on the forum and I come across a post that had a few pages and had only been up a little while, so I decided to have a look at what was the all that about, because it was about the UI being cancelled or being on hold or whatever, and it apparently been announced on the Friday Night Legends, which I don't watch anymore. I haven't watched that for quite a long time now, and so I didn't know anything about that, so it's just come across that today. And there's a lot of doom and gloom in there about the future of the game, and the further you go through it, the more you can kind of understand why people are a bit concerned, because we've been waiting for a UI update for a couple of years now, and every time it's kind of been talked about or being close to being finished, it's either been scrapped and started again, or just been put on hold for other projects. And the last time it was put on hold was so that they could work on bringing the DC to PS4. And if you kind of remember, around that kind of time we didn't get DLC like we were supposed to, so that year we got one less DLC, and you know, generally kind of things slowed down a hell of a lot around that kind of period when it came to DLCs and game updates and new features. Obviously there's apparently 3 new powers that are coming down the line, which were announced a while back, and that, like, can't remember what they are off the top of my head now. Munitions, atomic, and one other one, I can't remember what it was now. And apparently there was supposed to be a new DLC trilogy that starts after the existing ones, which is Kryptonian one. But there hasn't been much more news about that, probably because it's quite a way off and they're still working on the existing ones, so that's obviously wouldn't be talking about that too much. But I can understand why people get really angry on the forums, because obviously someone like me who doesn't really play the game as much but still subscribes, and you know, your money's going towards this game, and any other game it wouldn't really matter too much, because you buy the game and then you're done with it. You've done with paying for it. But a game like this, you're constantly paying out money, and if I add up all of the money I've probably spent on this game, with subscriptions, the disc, all the things that I bought off the marketplace, I've probably spent somewhere in the region of about £500 to £700 roughly. It's a bit hard to kind of tell exact amounts, because some of the things I bought were sometimes on sale and things like that, but I've spent around that kind of money, and that's kind of a crazy amount of money for a game. When you think that most games are like like £40 to £50, and you buy that and maybe some DLC comes out, and then you're done with it, and either you move on to another game eventually or you carry on playing it, but you just pay that one a lot of amount, and that's it, and it's done. But a game like this, where it's subscription, you kind of aren't done, and you're always paying a subscription. I mean, you can't really moan too much about things when it comes to marketplace stuff that you pay for, because that's down to the people playing. That's up to them if they want to spend all their money buying replay badges and things like that. That's up to them. But when it comes to subscription money, and you're paying, for me, I pay £20 every 3 months. I mean, I think I'm entitled to have a say about where my money is being used, and that, you know, not so much say like you can't do this or you can't do that, but I should be able to have an opinion about, like, the way the game goes on the forum, and like, if you read the post on there, Meps kind of, I don't know if it's just me reading it or not, but it's almost like we should feel privileged that we actually get told anything, and that they don't really have to tell us. Where is it on there? Because I really want to read this bit out, because it kind of annoyed me a little bit, because it's not the way you should really say things. Let's do that. Where is it? Where is it? Trying to find it where. On the 11th page, about halfway down, he's got like point 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4a. If you look at 4, it says, we really do aim to be as open as possible with our community. A lesser developer would not have brought you in for early feedback as we did with the UI, and would not have told you the project was on hold. Please don't make us regret that. And then 4a is, we lost some people and have significant new task that is priority now. Exploring launching on a new platform. First, the UI is on hold. Now, it should never be like, we're not saying that, you know, you should tell us everything that goes on, but I mean, saying something like that, you know, you should be like almost privileged to that we tell you things and we talk to you. I mean, in this day and age, that's what all game companies should be doing. Quite a lot of them do it nowadays because they feel like they have to, and you know, because of all the social media and everything that they can talk to players on, like Twitter and Facebook and everything. A lot of them do that now, and I mean, that's the whole point in having a forum. It's supposed to be for that, you know, to be able to get feedback and to be able to tell the devs. I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying to help them to help us in a way, because we're giving them like all the like telling them about bugs and features that we want and things that will improve the game, and then, you know, that's how we can communicate with them. So really, it's a two-way thing, you know. Maybe they should feel privileged that we actually tell them things, you know, talk to them about you know, things that we would like in the game and things like that, because, you know, without us there's no game, and without them there's no game. So really, it should be like a two-way kind of thing, and things like that are not nice to be putting something like that when people spend a lot of money on this game, and to be told that, you know, you should be lucky that we tell you things and stuff like that, and maybe we shouldn't tell you things if you're going to act like this, then, you know, it's not fair. And so obviously that pretty much, without saying that they are doing it for Xbox One, that pretty much just says that they are working on bringing the game to Xbox One, which I find really, really weird. I can't believe that they're even going to bother in some ways, because if you think all the people that would have wanted to have played DC by now, it's been out for over 4 years. If you wanted to play DC, you would have either have bought yourself a PS3, you'd have either bought a PS4 when it came out at launch, or you would have played it on PC. So by now, anybody that even wanted to play the game would have played it by now. The only people who are probably going to try the game out are either people that used to play it on PS3, but when Xbox One and PS4 came out, they went over to that, and they might pick it up. But I mean, there's so many new games that have come out in the last few months, and in this next year, there's a lot of big games coming out. A lot of games that got held back from last year. So I can't see the game doing that well on another platform. Obviously they have to do it because they obviously want to try and make some more money, and it probably isn't going to be that hard to port it over. But unless it's going to run on the same servers as the PC, which I don't know how that's going to work. If it did, then it would have to have its own servers, so that all costs money as well. And then how will you bring the game out? Will it be everything up to this time, and then when PlayStation and PC get their updates, Xbox get updates at the same time, and DLCs at the same time? Or will they have to start from scratch with that and give them the core game to start off with, and then every few months give them DLCs and updates individually? I don't know how that's going to work, because if you bring it all out in one go, then, you know, it might be a bit too overwhelming for people when they get to level 30. There's a lot of stuff then, and not going to really know what's going on unless they kind of do it a bit better, the tutorials and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with DC. They're not saying much. And we're finding out more and more details as this kind of thread goes on, as you read through it. I mean, one of the main devs has gone, Captain Liberty. He was, I think, the kind of main man there, kind of leading the team. And it looks like a few others have gone as well. They don't say the exact amount, but if you read that post from MEPS, it kind of relates to kind of maybe like a few people going. So you don't know exactly how many have gone. So obviously the team is smaller than it even was before they got taken over. So now they'd have to worry about another platform to do updates for, because even though it's kind of PC, PS4, Xbox all kind of run roughly the same kind of way now, the way the coding is and stuff, but they're all going to have their own individual problems, and probably going to have to all be on their own individual servers, because I can't see Xbox and PlayStation ever being on the same server. So it all costs kind of money, and I don't know where that money's going to come from really. Xbox is more known for its shooter games and not obviously its MMOs. It doesn't really have any. I don't know what kind of people going to play it on Xbox. The only people I can really see playing it are people that have moved over when the newer consoles came out and moved over from, instead of getting a PS4, got an Xbox One. But otherwise, I think by now, this is 4 years later, I think pretty much everybody who's wanted to play DC or has even kind of been interested in it, or just seen it, like not even advertised, but seen it at a friend's house or whatever, would have tried it and played it on one of the consoles, like the PS3, PS4, or PC by now. So I don't know how it's going to do on Xbox, and seeing as how they never advertise things as well, I just can't see how they're going to really make any more money out of it. I think it's going to, in a way, just kind of do the same, and it seems like the PlayStation people are the ones that are suffering, because we don't get any new features like the UI update. We don't get any of the new kind of innovative stuff that they should be really working on. Like, how about things like 4 heroes versus 4 villains in sort of an alert type thing, where we start off at different points and we meet at the end and we have to capture something, or capture an NPC or something, or like maybe a character, like how it was in the early videos with Doomsday, and that way you kind of maybe first one to him gets Doomsday on their side against the other 4. Things like that. They don't seem to be innovating anything. It's just DLC after DLC with the same old stuff in it. There's just constantly obsolete gear and new gear coming out, and then it's old again in 3 months' time, and it's just raids, and alerts and things like that. Not that the alerts and duos and things are not that bad, but when it comes to the big content, it's mostly just like concentrating on raids and things, and not everybody likes raids, and obviously at one point the alerts were the sort of thing that everyone played the most. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but I don't know how to take it right now. I never thought I'd ever see DC come to Xbox, obviously because it was owned by PlayStation at one point, but obviously it kind of makes sense if it actually made money, and the people owning the studios now actually brought in some extra people to actually work on another version of the game, instead of using the existing staff that should be like working on things for us people who are actually paying money for subscriptions and things like that. Instead of doing things for us, it seems like they're using all their resources to work on another platform and not worrying about their existing customers. And obviously if that goes on for too long, more than like 4 or 5 months, I think they're probably going to lose a lot of the remaining people that they have. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, and thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye.